Hello students, welcome to my class. So we will continue with the topic that we were talking in the previous video, that is functional group interconversion. Now we are taking a new example. See, they have given you this particular molecule and they're asking you now write the synthesis of this particular molecule. So what is the first thing you will do before writing the synthesis? First you will try to disconnect it. And now to disconnect, you should always, what you have to take care, you have to take care that when you're coming backward, the pathway should be feasible. So now here, look students, adding OH group to a benzene ring is not very easy. Okay, compared to that, adding a nitro group to the benzene ring is much easier. So here you can convert this OH group, that is you can do this functional group in interconversion into NO2 group. If you convert this particular group into an NO2 group, it is much easier for you to disconnect and the backward pathway will be very feasible or workable, practically possible. Okay. So what you will do, we have already studied that whenever one functional group is there attached to the ring and it's difficult for just adding it, so what we'll do, we will usually convert that group into some other group which is easier to add. Now I said that converting this into a nitro group is much better option. But OH group cannot be directly converted into NO2 group. First it has to be converted into NH2 and then from NH2 you know that NH2 then can be converted into NO2. Okay. So what you will do here, what is the first step? First step is you will convert this OH into NH2 first, then that NH2 will get converted into NO2. So how will you convert OH to NH2? You can use anything, substitution, addition, any particular different steps you know in organic chemistry, you can use it. Now here we want to replace this oxygen with nitrogen, so we can use substitution reaction, that is by adding N2. So once you add N2, what you get here, you will get NH2 here and there will be a bromine here. Now addition of bromine to the ring is easy, so we don't have to convert this particular group. That is by bromination you can add bromine to the benzene ring, correct? So what we'll do, we will directly disconnect. This is written CBr, meaning to say we are disconnecting at this particular position. So you can either write it like this, CBr disconnection, or you can show it by a line here. Okay, so we're disconnecting that particular group. Now that group is gone. Next, what we're doing, we want this NH2, because adding NH2 also to the ring is not easy. So that reaction is not very feasible compared to adding NO2. NO2 adding to the ring is much easier. So what we will do, once again we will do functional group interconversion. That is, this NH2 group is changed to NO2. Now students, look here, this is not functional group interconversion in this step because we are just substituting one atom with another atom. Here this entire group is replaced by another functional group. So this is functional group interconversion. Now on functional group interconversion, you can convert some groups to another group. Okay, not any group, it should be possible. So you know that coming back, converting nitro back to NH2 is possible on reduction, correct? So we can convert NH2 to NO2 and write. And after that, what you will do, where will you disconnect it? Once again you will disconnect it over here to get the simplest reactant molecule. Now how will you write the synthesis, students? Just write this in the backward direction. First, what you have your methyl benzene, correct? So what is the next thing you want? You want it to be substituted with the nitro group. So what will you do? You will do simple nitration. So here when you're writing, you need to also know what type of reagents are used in nitration or reduction or oxidation, etc. Some of that basic knowledge of different reagents you need to have. What reagent is used for what particular reaction. One reagent list is also there in this notes that you can refer. So here I'm doing nitration. So I'm using HNO3 and H2SO4. These are the two nitrating agents, you know that. Okay. Next, what I want to convert nitro group to amine. So what is the step that we follow usually to convert a nitro group to an amino group? We usually do reduction. So you can take any reducing agent. Here I've taken concentrated HCl and SN. Next, what you will do, we want to add, what is the next step, students? How will you write the next step? Looking at what you've done here, you will go backwards. Now next, what you have to do is you have to add one bromine to it, correct? So in order to add one bromine to it, you want bromine to be added in the ortho position. But the problem here is that you cannot simply add bromine, okay? Because if you try to add bromine to this amine containing ring, there will be bromine substitution at two ortho positions, here and here. But you want bromine only at this particular position. So in order to prevent that substitution at the other ortho position, what you have to do is that you have to, that is because of this group, presence of NH2 group enhances addition of bromine at both of these positions. In order to prevent that, what you will do, you will protect this group. So you will come across the protecting group in the next few videos. For now, you understand that we are using something in order to protect this group. So here what we are doing, we are making it, converting this Mi into amide, okay, by making it react with HOAC, acetate. So it gets converted into amine group, and then I'm adding bromine. Now bromine is only substituted at this position. Last thing what you have to do, we had to convert this NH2 to OH. Now even for this there are several reagents. So here we are taking NaNO2, H2SO4 and water. So this is another example for you to understand what happens in functional group interconversion, how it's done, and how to write the synthesis of the molecule. Now we'll see one more example. Can you try to write yourself the synthesis of this particular molecule? What will you do first? First you will do disconnection. Now see here, methyl benzene is there. In order to add cyanide to methyl benzene is not very easy. But addition of nitro group to methyl benzene is very easy. Correct? No. For toluene, adding nitro group is easy. So what you will do, what you will interconvert, this particular cyanide functional group is supposed to be converted into nitro group. Now you cannot directly convert it into nitro group. First you have to convert it into an amine, and then you can convert it into a nitro group. Okay. So what you will do, first step, here you can do substitution. That is, you can, instead of carbon, you can substitute hydrogen here. So there will be substitution reaction wherein you will be converting this cyanide to NH2. This you only have to think, students, what to do, how to convert this particular, because you know that adding cyanide is not easy to the ring compared to adding nitro group to the ring is much easier than adding cyanide CN group to the ring. Correct. So what you will do, usually any groups will be there here which is difficult to be added to the ring, you will interconvert that using this functional group interconversion. So first you did substitution, so here you got NH2. Now you know how to convert NH2 to NO2, that is, you just have to write FGI, functional group interconversion. Okay, after that what you will do, you will break this molecule. Now you will disconnect until you have done all the group interconversion. Don't go to disconnect. Now finally, once you have done this, now you can disconnect it. Where do you want to disconnect? Here you can disconnect it. Correct. So if you disconnect it here, when you're coming back, always when you're disconnecting, think, when I'm coming back, is it easy for me to add? Here if I disconnect, it is not easy for me to add an amine group to the methyl benzene or toluene. But here if I disconnect, it is comparatively easier for me to do nitration of toluene than doing adding amine group to the toluene. Okay, so it is okay for me to disconnect over here. I have disconnected this carbon nitrogen bond here. So what do I get? I get toluene. Now this is the simplest one. We don't have to disconnect this. This is the most, till when will you continue disconnecting, students? Till you get the most simplest of the reactant. Now you have already got the most simplest reactant here. Now you will write the synthesis. Okay, how will you write the synthesis? Just go in the backward direction. Let me write toluene. What is the next step I want to do? How will you go on writing next step? Refer your disconnection chart and continue in that way itself. If you see here, This is nothing but this ulta of this one. Okay, we are going forward here. In this, we are coming in the backward direction. So now I have this. What do I want here? In the next step, I want one nitro group here. So what will I do? Best thing is nitration. Okay. And after that, I want to convert this nitro group into amine group. What can I do? I can do reduction in the presence of hydrogen, palladium, or any reducing agent that you know that can convert nitro group to an amine. You can use here. There is no condition that you have to use this only. So here what you're doing basically in this particular topic, you're using all your chemistry knowledge and you're drawing this synthesis. You're writing it yourself. How this reaction might have occurred. That is what you're predicting. Now you have done added NH2. Next you want to convert NH2 group to cyanide. Now these are things you might not know. So as I said, there is a reagent chart in this notes itself that will tell you what and all reagents are to be added in order to convert one group into another. Usually to add cyanide we use CuCl. Okay, that is used for the substitution of cyanide to the ring. So we are using that reagent CuCN. When we are adding CuCN, that CN group will get attached over here. It will replace the NH2. So this is one more example involving functional group interconversion. Next, we are studying about another important topic, that is one group CX disconnection. So, whenever there's a group that is attached to aromatic compound, it is very easy for you to disconnect because you don't have to think much there. Only one group will be connected, so you're disconnecting that particular group there. So that is nothing but one group CS disconnection. Even in the case of esters, amides and sulfide, the position of disconnection is easily decided, because where do you disconnect? If it is ethers, amide or sulfide, we disconnect the bond joining the carbon and the heteroatom. There will be one heteroatom X that is attached to the carbon. Then where do you disconnect? That carbon and heteroatom bond can be disconnected. This is nothing but this approach is fundamental to synthetic design, and this is nothing but your one group CX disconnection. So it can be called as CX or CN disconnection. Okay, so if they ask you what is one group CX disconnection, you can tell this. And if they ask you for an example for one group CX disconnection, you can give an example like this. Like, see, this is R bond X we have. So here you don't have to think at all, because there's no other groups attached here. There's only one group that is attached to the carbon. So what you'll do, you'll directly disconnect over here. That is, this is a CX bond. CX disconnection is taking place. So what do you get? You can get R plus and X minus. Okay. This is only in case when, you know, the X atom that you're using is highly electronegative, then it will go as X minus and R will have a plus charge. So here you can have X. What are the these are the two synthons. What are the synthetic equivalents? For R, Ry is a synthetic equivalent where Y stands for Br, OTS, etc. So you can write your own example by substituting the Y here. For X minus, you can have X as X halides or hydrogen halides like HCl, HBr, HF, etc. Because you know that all of these halides, they will go out as they are highly electronegative, they'll go out as Cl minus, Br minus, F minus, correct? No. So this is one example. One more example they've given you, that is Rx. They're disconnecting the same bond here. You're getting R plus and X minus. Once again here the reagent, they are writing the reagent that is there. That is R halide plus HX. If you take, you will get R plus and X minus. Now in case you want R, here in these previous cases we got R as R plus. Now in case you want R as R minus, so what you have to take? You have to take some group which is, you know, which will leave as plus. For example, Rli, lithium, you know, is highly electropositive, so there is no possibility that lithium will go out as Li minus. Lithium usually goes out as Li plus, correct? No. So here in this particular example, Rx they are giving, where X can be some atom like lithium or your Grignard reagent also, sodium borohydride, sodium magnesium borohydride, etc. All these reagents, they can be used in order to generate R with a minus charge and X with a plus charge. So you can see here synthones R minus and X plus is obtained. So depending upon what type of reagent you're using, you will get R either with plus sign or minus. So under this we have carbonyl derivatives. Usually carbonyl derivative also we use one group CS disconnection. Why? Because carbonyl derivative, they are very easy to disconnect, because where do we usually disconnect whenever we have a carbonyl group like this? We usually disconnect between the carbonyl group and the heteroatom of the for our first disconnection. So you have never seen a disconnection here between R and C. We usually disconnect whenever there is a heteroatom. What do? We disconnect between the carbon and the heteroatom. So this is one example for CX disconnection, one group where you have only one substitution to the carbon which can be disconnected. So directly here we are disconnecting. That is a CX disconnection we will do. So what will carbon get, since this X group is a highly electronegative group? What will carbon get? It will get a plus sign and minus sign, and then you can write the synthetic equivalent for it. That is, if you add Y here, you will get RC double bond OY, and if you add H here, you will get HX. So carbonyl derivatives come under CX disconnection, one group CX disconnection. One more example they're showing by taking ester. Now what is this molecule? This is an ester molecule. Can you tell me the name? It is benzyl benzoate molecule. Now where will you disconnect? Usually whenever a molecule like this is present, where do we usually disconnect? We disconnect between the bond of carbon and one heteroatom. So here oxygen is there, which is a heteroatom, and carbon is there. So where will we disconnect? We will directly disconnect here. So this is the one group CS disconnection. Okay, so I have disconnected over here. So what do I get? I will get PHOH and PHC double bond Y. So how do you write the synthesis? The synthesis of this molecule is very easy. It can be carried out by different ways. So if you know some other method of synthesis, that also you can write. So here you can write what you're doing. I'm taking an acid chloride, that is this one. An acid chloride is made to react with this alcohol molecule in the presence of pyridine. If you take pyridine catalyst, the reaction will occur faster. You will get the target molecule, that is your benzyl benzoate. So this was about CS disconnection in case of aliphatic, that is benzene, aromatic, that is benzene ring. Next, what about CX, one group CS disconnection in case of aliphatic compound? So whenever we are doing one group CS, here one example is given. This is an aliphatic compound. Here there is no phenyl or benzene ring or anything. Okay. So if you're doing CX disconnection in case of an aliphatic compound, what will it give you? It will usually give you a nucleophile and an electrophile, that is electrophilic carbon species. So the carbon species here will usually have a plus charge. It will be electrophilic in nature, and it will also give you a nucleophile, that is HX. Okay. So here this is what this X will have the minus charge, so we are writing the synthetic equivalent as HX. What is the synthetic equivalent for R plus? If you want R plus, what type of synthetic equivalent will you take? You can take RBr or RTOS, that is carbon species. They are usually represented as alkyl halides, that is RBr, or tosylate or mesylate species if you want R in the plus charge. Okay, so this is once again CX disconnection, which we already discussed previously. One group CS disconnection. What happens in one group CS disconnection? There is only one disconnection. Direct disconnection of one of the groups takes place. So this example we already discussed previously. That is RX. When you're taking, you will disconnect over here and you will get R plus and X minus. And depending upon what group is there here, you might also get R minus and X. Some other group which will have plus charge on itself if it is more electropositive. So here X, in case you want to get R as plus and X minus, then X atom would be chlorine, bromine, iodine, any halogen, and Y can be OH, tosyl group, etc. Okay. So this also we discussed earlier, that is, if they ask you an example for CH disconnection, then you can give the example of this ester, that is benzyl benzoate, wherein there is a direct disconnection between the C and O bond here. Okay, direct next to the heteroatom is there here, oxygen. So you can disconnect here directly. So we are breaking the CO bond. So what do you get? PHO minus and this PC double bond O plus, correct? So the synthesis of this is easier. That is, in the presence of this alcohol, if you treat it with pyridine in the presence of acid chloride, you will get your benzyl benzoate, which is an ester. So this is one example to show CS disconnection, how exactly CX disconnection will take place. Another example is in the case of ethers and sulfides. Here you can give another example for CX disconnection. So here you can see that this paramethyl anisole molecule is there, and we are disconnecting it over here. That is, the carbon oxygen bond is being disconnected. So we will get two of the syntons, and their synthetic equivalents are as follows. So then you can synthesize taking this molecule when it is made to react with reagents like sodium hydroxide and CH3 twice SO4. You will get this target molecule 22. Okay, that is paramethyl anisole. So this is another example. So if they ask you in exam what is CX disconnection, give some of the examples. You can give one example of benzyl benzoate. You can give another example of paramethyl anisole, and third example is an example of chlorobenzide. Here you can see that here we are breaking a bond between sulfur and carbon, that is C and X. Why are we not breaking? Here also there is a sulfur and carbon bond, but we are not breaking this bond. What is the reason? Because here you can see that sulfur, it has lone pair of electrons, and so with the benzene ring, with this ring, it can form double bond. So it is not easy to disconnect over here. It is not feasible to disconnect over here. So rather we disconnect here, because here it cannot form double bond with this carbon. So we are disconnecting at this particular position, that is a thioether linkage. So we get these two synthons which have these two synthetic equivalents. So synthesis you can write, that is, whenever you take this molecule in the presence of sodium NaOET, you get the target molecule 7. Okay, so these are the three examples for CX disconnection. What exactly is CX disconnection? We are disconnecting one group in the molecule. There's only one disconnection here, one group. So it is called as one group CX disconnection, because we are disconnecting only one group here. There's furthermore there will be two groups disconnection and other three groups and all that. So in this example we are disconnecting only one group, so it is called as one group CX disconnection. Which bond are we disconnecting? We are only disconnecting a CX bond, that is one carbon and some heteroatom, that is X, that such a bond is broken. So it is called as CX disconnection. Next is two group CX disconnection. So here also what we are doing is that we are disconnecting CX bond, that is carbon and one heteroatom bond. But under this there are three types, that is 1,1 difunctional compound. We are studying CX disconnection, two group CX disconnection in 1,1 difunctional compound. Then we are studying in 1,2 difunctional compound and 1,3 difunctional compound. Now students, what is a difunctional compound? First of all, a compound that has two functional groups will be a difunctional compound. Now, what is 1,1 difunctional compound? Is nothing but the functional group, the two functional groups that are present here will be present on the same carbon atom. Now you can see here this carbon atom is there. So the two groups that you are going to disconnect, the two CX bonds that you are going to disconnect, are present on the same carbon atom. Then such a difunctional compound is called as 1,1 difunctional compound. focus to this. Here you can see where I'm showing the pointer to the same carbon, two functional groups they are attached. So this comes under the category of 1 comma 1 difunctional compound. Now CX disconnection, what you're breaking these two disconnections take place here, this and this. Now how is it done? What actually happens here is that this is one of the example uh, for 1 comma 1 difunctional compound. So question can be like what are two group CX disconnection, what are the different types? So you will give one example and explain what exactly is two group CX disconnection. Now here what happens, oxygen here has lone pair of electron, one of the lone pair electron shifts here as a bond between carbon and oxygen. So there is a double bond O, oxygen gets a plus charge, so O plus Me, and since one bond is shifting on this carbon, its valency will change to 5. So in order to bring back its valency to 4, what happens, this fifth bond is, that will break off. So there's actually only one disconnection happening here, but there is variation taking place, so we call it as a two group CX disconnection. Okay, because there's changes taking place in the structure, correct? So this goes out as MEO minus. So these two will be the syntons in this case. What are the synthetic equivalent for this? For this, the synthetic equivalent is a keto compound, and for this is it's an alcohol. Okay, can we study? This is the simplest example. Can we study some more example for 1 comma 1 difunctional compound? This is another example for 1 comma 1 difunctional compound. You can see that both the functional groups that we want to make the changes are attached, that we want to disconnect, are attached onto the same carbon, that is this carbon atom. Okay, now here this lone pair of electron shifts, the mechanism here for disconnection is same for all. So here you will shift this bond will break off. So you get both of your syntons here. Now we have directly written, these are not syntons, we have directly written their synthetic equivalents. You don't actually have to specify what syntons are there. If you write the synthetic equivalents, it's more than enough. Next, one more example is that of cyanohydrin. You can see that the carbon here, 1 comma 1 position, 2 functional groups are attached. So now this lone pair electron shifts onto, usually it's better in this case, that is in case of 1 comma 1 difunctional compound, it's better you take a functional groups having oxygen, because at that time you can easily do this mechanism of shifting lone pair of electron towards one bond. So here we have taken OH group, so you can shift this lone pair of electron on oxygen to this bond, so you'll get double bond OH plus plus Cn minus. That is, this is not CH, this is Cn, and this bond breaks here in case the cyano group goes out, and so you get Cn minus. So these are the two syntons. And what is the synthetic equivalent for Cn minus? You should know this. This is HCN. HCN is a synthetic equivalent in order to make Cn minus, and for this you can have a ketone compound. So this is 1 comma 1 in case of 1 comma 1 difunctional compound. Next we are studying disconnection in case, that is 2 group CX disconnection in case of 1 comma 2 difunctional compound. Before that, we have just one example left in 1 comma 1. This is an important example. Now see here, does this look like it will undergo 1 comma 1? Does it first of all look like 1 comma 1 difunctional compound? Does not, because if you take this carbon in consideration, usually how it was, one functional group here and one functional group here. But here in this case, what happened, one functional group is here, one more functional group is present here, that is one more carbon chain, carbon group, alkyl group is there in between, and then there is one more functional group. So when you see the target molecule like this, you might feel that we cannot do this is not a 1 comma 1 difunctional compound, it might be a 1 comma 2 difunctional compound. Okay, it looks like that. But once you do functional group interconversion, that is, if you have done functional group interconversion, you can convert this NH2 group, and here there is carbon, correct? There can be removal of hydrogen from here, so this group can be converted into C triple bond N. All the bonds of NH2 can be shifted between carbon and nitrogen, so you will get C triple bond N. Now does it look like it is a 1 comma 1 difunctional compound? Yes, because this carbon is there here. One functional group is OH, one functional group is cyanide group. Okay, although here it did not look like it is a 1 comma 1 difunctional compound, here you can make out that this is a 1 comma 1 difunctional compound. Now what you do after, so usually you can, if you want to do 1 comma 1 disconnection, then you can also do a functional whenever you have groups like this, that is C bonded to NH2, CH bonded to NH2, that time you can always do functional group interconversion of an amine to cyanide group. Okay, so now once we've converted that functional group, this bond shifts over here. Mechanism is same as previous, and there's elimination of C triple bond N. So these are the two synthetic equivalents that you get after the interconversion. So now this is next one, that is the disconnection of 1 comma 2 difunctional compound. Two group disconnection in 1 comma 2 difunctional compound. First of all, why is it called a two group CX disconnection? Because here, there, in that case, we were disconnecting only one functional group. Here, two functional groups are involved which disconnect from each other. So we usually call it two group CX disconnection. So CX bond is broken from two groups, correct? No. So now 1 comma 2 difunctional compound. In case of 1 comma 1, both the functional groups were attached to the same carbon atom. Here you see 1 comma 2 means one more functional group is present in the second position with respect to the first functional group. Now if you consider this to be the first functional group and this to be the second functional group, this group is present in second position with respect to this group. How will you count it? Count the number of carbons, 1 2. So this is in the second position with respect to this group. Same way with respect to this group, if you see, this group is present in second position, 1 2. So such a compound is called as 1 comma 2 difunctional compound. So how to disconnect this? Over here you will disconnect, so you will get a nucleophile plus this part, and the epoxide ring is the synthetic equal that you get here. So this is a general example for 1 comma 2 difunctional compound, disconnection in case of 1 comma 2 difunctional compound. So that was the general reaction. Let us discuss with some different examples for 1 comma 2 difunctional compound disconnection in case of 1 comma 2 difunctional compound. This is one of the example, target molecule 25. Now see here, here you can see OH is the functional group that is present here, and this part will be one more functional group here. So with respect to this, you're disconnecting. How can you tell it is 1 comma 2? You can see here carbon number 1, carbon number 2. So the second functional group is present in second position with respect to the first functional group, that is OH, correct? So it is 1 comma 2. So it comes under the category of 1 comma 2 difunctional compound. So you will disconnect over here. What do you get? You get OH and this ring along with phenyl. Same way, usually when you have alcohols, then the starting material, so you got an epoxide ring, correct? So this is a hint for you all that whenever you have alcohols to be synthesized, any molecule having alcohol group in it, then epoxide will be the starting material in such synthesis. So this is one example. Let's see one more example. See here, in this case, you have one ketone group here and you have a nucleophile here, correct? Now, how does it become 1 comma 2? You can see here carbon number 1, carbon number 2. So this group is present in second position with respect to this group. Same way this group is present in 1, 2, the second position with respect to this group. So it is comes under the category of 1 comma 2 disconnection. Okay, so what do you get? You get a nucleophile whose synthetic equivalent is NuH, and also you get this part which is nothing but your acyl chloride. Okay, and next is target molecule 6. So you have 1, 2 and 3 examples. It's better you write a lot of examples, how much ever you know. You can make some of your own examples and write, for this. So next, target molecule number 6, you can see here. This is one functional group, and here this part can be considered as another functional group. So there is a disconnection. Why 1 comma 2? It is carbon number 1, carbon number 2. So this functional group is present in second position with respect to this functional group. So it comes under the category of 1 comma 2. So I'm disconnecting over here and I get OH and ClCOH. What is this? This is monochloroacetic acid. Next, what we are studying? We are studying 1 comma 3 difunctional compound. This connection in case of 1 comma 3 difunctional compounds. Next, in case of 1 comma 3 difunctional compound disconnection, what happens? What is 1 comma 3, students? One functional group will be at one position and other will be in the third position with respect to the first functional group. So here you can see that if we consider this functional group, that is double C double bond O, 1, 2, 3. At third position you have this nucleophile that is attached. So that is in the third position. So this is one example of 1 comma 3 difunctional compound. And how can you show the disconnection here? Disconnected the nucleophile. So you get both of these syntons, and you can then write their synthetic equivalent. Okay. Same way here you see this particular compound. So whenever this compound became across this compound previously also, wherein there will be CH2 attached to NH2, whenever such situation, that is amines, come, you know that you can do functional group interconversion. This entire group can be interconverted. So directly don't go to disconnect. Whenever examples like this arise, what you will do? You can do functional group interconversion. This group NH2 can be converted into cyanide group. That time the chain will get shortened, correct? Because hydrogen will be lost and this C and N will bond triple bond with each other. Now tell me, what kind of disconnection is this? You can see that this group is present in 1, 2, second position with respect to this functional group. So this is initially it looked like it is 1, 1, 2, 3. It is 1 comma 3 the disconnection, but here you can see that it is 1 comma 2 disconnection. So here you can see is 1 comma 2 disconnection, and these are the two synthetic equivalents of it. Next is this one more example in which you can see both 1 comma 1 and 1 comma 3. Now you see this is a protecting group. Now first we will disconnect both of these oxygens here, and both of the oxygens are attached to the same carbon atom, so they are in the 1 comma 1 position. So it is what disconnection will be involved over there? It is 1 comma 1 disconnection. So both of these groups we have removed. Now that is called as deprotecting a protecting group, which we'll be studying in the next video. And here after deprotecting you will get what? You will get double bond O. Now what you have to do is that you have to disconnect these. Now these two are the functional group, that is C double bond O and Br. So you have to disconnect this group with respect to this group. Now what type of disconnection is this? Can you count and tell? You can see carbon number 1, 2 and 3. So one functional group is attached to carbon number 1 and one functional group is attached to carbon number 3. 1, 2 and 3. So one is in third position with respect to the first carbon. So it is 1 comma 3 disconnection here. So I'll disconnect over here. What do you get? You get Br minus and acrolein. So this is its synthetic equivalent. These are the syntons. This is its synthetic equivalent. For Br minus, what synthetic equivalent you can write? You can write HBr. So with this, next is CC disconnection. Now so far we studied about CX disconnection, where we are breaking a bond between a carbon and a heteroatom. In case of CC disconnection, what are we breaking? We are breaking a carbon-carbon bond. So same way as we studied in case of CX disconnection, even in CC disconnection we have 1 comma 1, 1 comma 2, 1 comma 3 difunctional compounds, okay, in which we will be studying CC disconnection. So first we will begin with 1 comma 1 disconnection. What is 1 comma 1? Both the functional groups will be present on same carbon atom with respect to each other. Okay, so this is an example. Usually 1 comma 1 examples will be having oxygen in them. So now here, remember what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to break a carbon-carbon bond, not a carbon heteroatom bond. So I will be very specific to write R here. R indicating any alkyl group containing carbon, correct? So this bond is supposed to be disconnected here. Okay, one group. So this is a one group CX, sorry, CC. It is a what? One group CC disconnection. Now let's understand this example. What happens here? I have to disconnect this carbon-carbon bond. So disconnection will be over here that I've shown it in the line. This lone pair of electron on oxygen shifts here. So it forms a double bond OH plus. This is one of the synton. What is another synton? This group goes out as R minus. So these two are its synthetic equivalent. Now let us give an example and understand. This is target molecule 27. So what kind of disconnection can we see here? What, to this carbon only two functional groups they are attached, correct? No, so we will see a 1 comma 1 disconnection over here. So this lone pair of electron on oxygen shifts here, so we get a double bond OH, that is this part completely gets disconnected off, this carbon and this carbon bond gets broken off. So you can see these three, you can get this synton and one more synton having a plus charge. So how do you derive this synton? From a ketone compound you can get this synton. And what about this synton? How do you derive it? You can get it from by adding MgBr, because MgBr will go out as MgBr plus. So you will get this particular synton. How to synthesize this target molecule 27? Take MgBr or take chain containing Br in the presence of Mg and ETO, you will get your target molecule 27. So what are we doing here? We are disconnecting a CC bond. To be very specific, we are disconnecting a carbon-carbon bond, and this is a example of one group CC disconnection. Next is 1 comma 2 CC disconnection. In case of 1 comma 2 students, what is the case? Two functional group are, one functional group is present in second position with respect to the first one. Now this is the first functional group, and if you consider this to be the second functional group, you can see that this is present 1 2 at second position with respect to this. So you will disconnect this functional group. So CC disconnection, what you will get? You will get R minus, because you have to disconnect only the carbon-carbon bond here. So remember, you cannot write any atoms, any groups like NH2, NO2 or OH or anything over here, because you have to break only the carbon-carbon, because it is a not CX, it is CC disconnection over here. So you have to break only carbon-carbon bond here. So you're getting what? R minus, and whenever there's an alcohol, you know that the synthetic equivalent in order to obtain alcohol will be epoxide. So usually whenever alcohol is supposed to be made, just you can no need of thinking, just write one epoxide there. It is understood that is you're making alcohol. So that is a common tip for you. Next, one more example we will take. C here, C double bond O is there. This is one more functional group here. With respect to this group, 1 2 on the second carbon, this group is attached, so it comes under the category of 1 comma 2 CC disconnection. Break this carbon. Can I break this bond? No. One thing is it is double bond, I cannot break. One more thing, it won't be CC, it will be CO. So you can only break this bond here between carbon and R, meaning to say any alkyl group. So you will get R minus and the other synton. What about this example? 1 phenyl butane 2 all. here with respect to this OH group here 1 2, in the second position this phenyl group is present. So where will you disconnect? You can disconnect over here. So you will get phenyl group as minus, that synthetic equivalent for that is PHMgBr, and this is one more, that is group containing alcohol. Once again you have an alcohol group, so what will be your synthetic equivalent, student? It should be an epoxide ring. So this is a synthesis of target molecule 28. Next, one more example we are taking, that is butane 2-ol. Here you can see one functional group is present here, one functional group is present here. This is present in 1, 2, the second position with respect to this. So it comes under 1, 2 disconnection. Disconnect over here, you will get CH3 minus and the other synthon. What about this example, target molecule number 30? Initially, when you see, it does not look like 1, 2 disconnection for you. It might look like, see, this part is one functional group, this part is one functional group. So if you want to cut this group here, disconnect over here, it might look like 1 comma 1 for you, because see, to this carbon this group is also attached, this group is also attached. Okay, so it will look like 1 comma 1, but always do the functional group interconversion in examples like this. So once I do functional group interconversion, the COH group gets converted into OH group. That functional group has got interconverted. So its chain has now got lengthened, CH to OH. So now which is a functional group now? The new functional group after FGI, what have we got? OH is a new functional group. So with respect to this group is present in which position? 1, 2. So it is present, this group now, this is the whole functional, one part of the functional group, and this is one more functional group. So with respect to this group is present in 1, 2, 2 second position, correct? So where will we disconnect it? We will disconnect it over here. And what kind of disconnection will it be? Will it be 1 comma 1? No, now it is 1 comma 2 disconnection. So if you had disconnected over here, it would be 1 comma 1, but since I did function group interconversion, now it is a 1 comma 2 disconnection. Now once again you have an alcohol, so what will be your starting material or synthetic equivalent? It will be a epoxide ring. And in case you have something like this, so definitely it will be MgBr. Okay, here also you can see CH3 minus. Whenever you have CH minus, CH3 minus and all, so you can just add one MgBr, the Grignard reagent, to it and write. Next, last one is 1 comma 3 cc disconnection. Here there's a breakage of carbon-carbon bond where one functional group is present in the third position with respect to another functional group. Now see here, students, this is one functional group, this is one more functional group. Now to this is in which position? 1, 2, 3. Count the number of carbon atoms. 1, 2, 3. Third position, so it is 1 comma 3 cc disconnection. Now you will disconnect over here. So what do you get? R minus. You cannot disconnect over here because it is not CX, it is CC. So this one carbon, this carbon-carbon bond only can be disconnected. You will disconnect over here and you will write the two synthons that we get. Same way here in this, now you're writing it synthesis. Synthesis you can write, it's just the opposite of how you disconnect it, you can write. Same way, one more example we are taking, that is target molecule 31, you can see here. So with respect to this phenyl ring, you see this group, this functional group is present in which position? 1, 2, 3, because there's one more carbon here, you have to count that carbon as well. So with respect to this group, this is present in 1, 2 and 3, third position. So where will you disconnect it? You will disconnect it over here. And what type of disconnection is this? This is 1 comma 3 disconnection. Okay, so once you have disconnected, you can then write its syntons. So the syntons here in this case is cinnamic acid, and this one phenyl ring that has gone out will go out as pH minus, correct? So how is the synthesis? It is written in the reverse order, that is PHH you can add in the presence of AlCl3, you will get your target molecule 31. Here, writing the synthesis is also important. The synthesis just reverse. So now we have already studied it is CX disconnection, different types of CX disconnection. Also, we studied CC disconnection and different types of CC disconnection. So with that, I will be ending this video. Take care and bye.